Senator Chris Coons. Senator, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Kate. Great to be on with you again.
Thank you. So much happening tonight. This is, in this hearing coming up on Monday, this is what Democrats have been calling for. Are you satisfied with how Republicans are handling this tonight?
Well, I think it's important that Dr. Ford have a chance to be heard and for the American people to reach their own conclusions about Judge Kavanaugh and Dr. Ford. And I think one of the things that's essential to this being a fair and deliberate and open process is for the FBI to do their job. Every time someone is nominated for a federal court position, whether it's on the Supreme Court or any other lifetime appointment to a federal court, the FBI does a background investigation. And I am hoping the members of the Senate Judiciary Committee who are Democrats are demanding that we get clarity about whether the FBI will be using this intervening week to conduct a thorough and responsible background check, and whether they think that is enough time to get clarity about other evidence that could be gathered to either support or challenge the allegations made by Dr. Ford.
So, Senator, are you saying that you are not satisfied with having this public hearing to have Christine Blasey Ford have her say, tell her story, and have Judge Kavanaugh face more questions as well? You won't be satisfied with just that. You will only be satisfied if the FBI reopens its background investigation into Judge Kavanaugh?
Well, Kate, first, I am encouraged that a number of Republican senators stepped forward. Senators Flake and Senator Corker, I think, were the first two, to insist that this Thursday's vote be delayed to allow Dr. Ford to be heard. I think that's important, and we should recognize that that was a significant step forward. What I'm saying is, if all that happens is we have these two witnesses in front of us with no more evidence, no one else questioned, we don't have Mark Judge, for example, testifying, who's been named by Dr. Ford as the third person in the room during this disturbing alleged incident in high school, then I don't think we've had a full opportunity to have this incident investigated.
Do you want to call him to, I mean, obviously the chairman has the most say in this, but do you want to call Mark Judge to testify?
Yes, I think not having in front of us the third person who is alleged to have been a participant in this troubling incident would be to not fully question whether there is some truth to this or not.
Do you know if that's, that's at all a possibility? I mean, this has all been moving so fast. I don't even want to preclude. I mean, do you know that he hasn't been asked?
I don't know that. I don't know Mark Judge, and I don't know whether he's been called to testify or not. You know, frankly, this morning, it seemed unlikely that there would be a hearing. Now that we're talking about the details of a hearing for a week from now, all I'm trying to lay out is that in an instance like this, where the event itself is decades ago and there is a little bit of contemporaneous evidence, I think that before we make such an important decision, a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court, we'd want to make sure that the independent professionals of the FBI provide us whatever additional information they responsibly can.
You have said you have grave concerns about Judge Kavanaugh being on the court, but you have also known Judge Kavanaugh for 30 years, and I've seen you've called him a good husband, a good father, you've called him a nice man. Do you think that he's capable of what Christine Blasey Ford is alleging?
Well, I did not know him in high school or college, and I was unaware of these allegations. I have come out publicly opposed to Judge Kavanaugh's nomination to the court based on his legal reasoning, based on his views on presidential power, the things that I questioned him most sharply about in his confirmation hearing, and frankly, given that he did not add anything to what he said in the confirmation hearing in the lengthy back and forth we had in written questions and, in his case, non-answers, I have just publicly announced earlier today that I intend to vote against him.
You are officially a no.
Correct.
You are officially a no as of this evening, even before hearing what happens on Monday. Senator.
That's right.
Senator Dianne Feinstein, she is who had this information, this letter from Christine Blasey Ford. When did Senator Feinstein tell you about the letter that she received from Blasey Ford?
I just found out about it late last week. There was a meeting of Senate Judiciary Democrats where she shared with us that it was out in the press, that the press was asking about it, and she gave us the background on how it came to be in her possession, what she did to try and verify it, how she tried to protect Dr. Ford's request for confidentiality, and the steps that she took that got us to today.
Senator Feinstein's facing criticism for respecting that request, if you will. Do you wish Senator Feinstein would have alerted you to the existence of this allegation earlier? Could she have done that while still protecting Christine Blasey Ford's identity?
Well, you know, once Dr. Ford retained an attorney, The back and forth with her attorney, I think, understandably took a number of weeks. I think there were some misunderstandings about how forthcoming she would be or wouldn't be. And I deeply respect that Senator Feinstein intended to follow the request for confidentiality from Dr. Ford.
So you don't question the timing at all from Dianne Feinstein. You don't wish she had come to you any earlier.
I'm convinced, having been with her in person and asked her about this, that this was a good faith attempt on her part to balance the public's need to know with a deep respect for the victim's repeated request for confidentiality. It is only because this letter was leaked that we know today who Dr. Ford is and that she's now contemplating testifying. I'm certain that Senator Feinstein placed very heavy reliance on her repeated request for confidentiality.
Senator, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Kate.
Looking forward to hearing what you have to ask both Blasey Ford and Judge Kavanaugh next week. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Out front next, Christine.